In the ever-present moment of recognition, we find ourselves free from the constraints of thought, effortlessly abiding in the vast expanse of empty cognizance. It is in this space of uncontrived awareness that the essence of all teachings and wisdom arises, like a lotus blooming from the depths of a still pond. As we journey through the tapestry of life, each step, each breath becomes a dance of recognition and forgetting, an opportunity to return to the sacred ground of our true nature. When we eat, let the taste of the food remind us of the impermanent and interdependent nature of all phenomena. When we walk, let our footsteps echo the rhythmic pulse of existence, a reminder of the ever-changing flow of life. In our daily activities, we have the chance to recognize the Buddha nature that permeates every aspect of our lives. Whether we are lying down to sleep or sitting on the toilet, the invitation to awaken to the truth of our being is ever present. It is through this continuous recognition that we become familiar with the essence of our own minds, like an old friend whose presence brings comfort and peace. As thoughts arise, we learn to see them as expressions of our own nature, emanating from the infinite expanse of awareness and dissolving back into the boundless ocean of emptiness. In this realization, we come to understand that there is no separation between the essence of our own minds and the thoughts that arise. They are, in fact, manifestations of the same primordial ground. The practice, then, is to maintain this recognition in the midst of the ever-shifting landscape of our lives, to come intimately acquainted with the unchanging essence that lies at the heart of all experience. Through this unceasing dance of recognition, we come to embody the teachings of the Buddha, the wisdom of the Tao, the directness of Zen, and the luminous presence of Dzogchen. With each step on this journey, we are called to surrender to the flow of existence, to embrace the ever-present now with open hearts and open minds. In this state of effortless being, we discover the unity of all things, the interconnectedness of life, and the boundless potential of our own true nature. As we cultivate this recognition, we come to understand that there is no destination on this path, no ultimate goal or endpoint to reach. The journey itself is the destination. Each moment, a perfect expression of the ineffable mystery of existence. And so, we continue to walk the path, hand in hand with the wisdom of the ages, trusting in the unfolding of our own true hearts and minds. As we continue to deepen our understanding and practice, we find that the wisdom of the ages becomes a living, breathing presence within us, guiding us on our journey towards self-realization and inner peace. With each moment of recognition, we are transformed, our hearts and minds expanding to embrace the boundless expanse of our true nature. In the ever-unfolding tapestry of life, we begin to see the interconnectedness of all things, the interdependence of the entire cosmos. We come to understand that our own awakening is inextricably linked with the awakening of all beings, that our liberation is a shared journey woven together through the threads of love, compassion, and wisdom. As we walk this path, we are called to embody the teachings of the great masters, to become beacons of light in a world that is often clouded by confusion and suffering. Through our actions, our words, and our very presence, we can inspire others to awaken to their own true nature, to discover the peace and journey that lies at the core of their being. With each step, we learn to trust in the unfolding process, to surrender to the flow of existence, and to recognize the sacredness of each and every moment. We come to understand that there is no need to strive or struggle, for the essence of who we are is already perfect, already whole.
I don't want any plastics, and I don't want any ground floors, and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand that? I want to do what I want to do. And you're...
As we cultivate this recognition, our lives become an offering, a sacred dance of love and devotion, in which we are both the dancer and the dance itself. Our hearts and minds open to the infinite possibilities of the present moment, and we find ourselves living in a state of effortless grace, guided by the gentle whispers of the universe. In this state of awakened presence, we come to realize that the teachings of the Buddha, the wisdom of the Tao, the directness of Zen, and the luminous presence of Dogen are not separate paths, but rather different expressions of the same timeless truth. They are all invitations to dive into the boundless oceans of our own true nature, to discover the unity that lies at the heart of all things. As we continue on this journey, we are called to be both humble and courageous, to recognize that our own awakening is a gift to be shared, a treasure to be offered for the benefit of all beings. With open hearts and open minds, we walk this path together, hand in hand, trusting in the wisdom of the ages and the boundless potential of our own true nature. As we embark on the journey of self-discovery, we find ourselves walking in the footsteps of the great masters who have come before us. Their teachings, insights, and wisdom serve as guiding lights, illuminating the path that lies ahead. Drawing from their words, we find nourishment and inspiration for our own practice and growth. From the Buddha, we learn the truth of impermanence and the Four Noble Truths, which form the foundation of the Buddha's path. The Buddha said, "All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering." Embracing the impermanence of all phenomena, we'll let go of our attachment to the ever-present world around us, finding peace in the recognition of the true nature of reality. From Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, we are reminded of the importance of living in harmony with the natural flow of life. In the Tao Te Ching, he writes, "By letting go, it all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. But when you try and try, the world is beyond the winning." In surrendering to the Tao, the natural way of the universe, we learn to move through life with effortless grace, dancing with the currents of existence. Zen Master Dogen teaches us the value of direct experience, encouraging us to dive deeply into the present moment and to awaken to the truth of our own being. He says, "As we journey on this path of awakening, we are accompanied by the wisdom of countless masters and traditions, each offering their own unique insights and guidance. In the words of the Buddha, no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. With each step we take, we are reminded that our own liberation is a journey of self-discovery and personal responsibility. Yet we are not alone. For the teachings of these great masters provide us with a compassion and a compass, pointing us towards our own true nature. In the spirit of the Tao, Lao Tzu teaches us, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This simple yet profound wisdom encourages us to embrace the present moment, to trust in the unfolding process of our lives, and to recognize that each step we take is a sacred dance of awakening. As we continue to walk this path, we find solace in the directness of Zen. The practice of Zazen invites us to simply sit and be with our experience. As Zen Master Dogen says, to study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be actualized by myriad things. In our moments of stillness, we come to realize the luminous presence of Dzogchen, the natural state of mind that is always present and uncontrived. Tulku Urgyen Rinpoche gently guides us with the words, "The recognition of awareness is the only thing that frees us. It is simple, but it requires constant training." As we delve deeper into our practice, we begin to see the interconnectedness of all things, a truth beautifully expressed by Thich Nhat Hanh. We are here to awaken from our illusion of separateness. This realization calls us to cultivate love and compassion, to recognize that the well-being of others is intimately connected to our own. The teachings of Advaita Vedanta encourage us to explore the nature of reality and the essence of our own being. Sri Ramana Maharshi teaches, the self is always there. It is you. Nothing more intimate can be than the self. With each quote, each teaching, we find ourselves expanding and deepening our understanding of the path, our hearts and minds opening to the boundless potential of our own true nature. As we continue on this journey, we are called to embody these teachings in every aspect of our lives, to become living expressions of love, wisdom, and compassion. In the words of the great mystic Rumi, let the beauty of what you love be what you do. With this inspiration, we walk the path together, hand in hand, trusting in the wisdom of the ages and the boundless potential of our own true nature. To quote from the wise Tulku Urgyen Rinpoche, in a seminal teaching, one of his life's cultivations, he writes, and he also teaches, free in the moment of seeing means at the very moment of seeing your own nature, in this first and second instant, there is no thought. Thought has vanished. Is there anything more fantastic than being totally free of thought? Because there is nothing else in this world that can totally bring a halt to thinking. You can blow up nuclear bombs and use all different techniques, but nothing really stops thoughts. But the very moment that you turn your attention towards your own mind, it is evident that it is simply an empty cognizance, with no thing whatsoever. It is empty, but yet there is the seeing of that, because mind is also cognizant. These are the primordial original unity that is empty and cognizant. But the thought happens, we don't believe that this is really it, because it's too easy. There's nothing more easy than this. Just do it. Just look. Don't think of anything. Having totally abandoned thinker and what is thought of, at the moment you're only seeing that there's no thinker. It's not something you gradually approach, like a spirit entering you. This is what is meant by the phrase, one moment makes a difference. In one moment, complete enlightenment. That moment, like this, is the unmistaken mind of the Buddha. Don't project outwardly. Don't concentrate inwardly. Don't keep a state in between. Totally give up any mental effort. This is what the Buddhist teaches, called utterly sheer emptiness. You don't need to block your five senses, not at all. Like, this is remaining. Everything is vividly experienced. Just this. But when you start to investigate a label, you're involved in thought. This is what Padmasambhava says in the sevenfold supplication. No matter what appears to your inner realm in the field of your vision, before your eyes, the world, the beings, and so forth, even though experienced, just let be without any fixation. In other words, disown everything. The dissolving of subject and the dissolving of object is the pure form of the deity. Whatever moves or occurs in the realms of your ears, any sounds, or the sounding whether pleasant or unpleasant, just let be. In the continuity of sound, being emptiness. Because no matter what the sounds in your hearing is indivisible from emptiness. The empty resounding beyond the rising and ceasing is the voice of the victorious ones. Do not get involved in concepts, leading or following. By leaving your thinking to itself, it dissolves naturally into the Dharmakaya. Thinking means our thoughts of this and that. If you just let it be, it naturally dissolves. So truth, wakefulness, don't do anything to it. Don't accept it, don't reject it, don't hope or fear, just leave it. That is sufficient. So what you naturally need to train in is not to imagine something by an act of meditation, but also not to be distracted for even 1 second. Being distracted is the same as forgetting. and it is said, on the path of distraction, the demons lie in ambush. The moment you look towards and acknowledge empty cognizance, that is called having recognized. Then there is the continuity of empty cognizance, which you don't need to fabricate in any way. Just don't forget it. Once you forget and start to think, then the continuity is lost. The moment you look, the empty cognizance is seen, recognized, and then allow the continuity of the scene to continue, be sustained but automatically. Then, for the ordinary person, again, a thought will occur, but you need to remember, oh, I forgot. Then acknowledge, who forgot? And simply recognize again, and you arrive back in the state of recognizing your natural face. That doesn't mean sitting and straining, trying not to be distracted. It's like ringing the bell once and the sound continues. It doesn't mean ringing the bell continuously. Once the continuity fades, that means we start forgetting and we get involved in thought. Then again, we notice, oh, I forgot. I got carried away. Then, alright, then look towards your own mind, and again, you'll be back recognizing. And again, there is natural stability in a continuous state of empty cognizance. You need to train in that. Short moments many times. We have learned to live this life through training. We have learned how to behave, how to move about. We learn how to eat. We have to train while involved in all the activities of this life. For example, while eating, you taste the food, and then you start to think about the food. Then notice, oh, I got carried away. Again, recognize while eating. At that moment, you will arrive back vividly in the state of the essence. You forget again, get lost. While walking about, moving in your room, you can still recognize Buddha nature when you lie down to sleep. If you're diligent, you can also recognize again. Actually, there is no time when you're not able to recognize the nature of the mind, even when you sit on the toilet. It is said like this, that the naked state of Dhammatatu is unimaginable. Relax in the impeccable state of awareness. If a thought occurs, it arises from yourself. It dissolves back into yourself. Any thought that occurs is your own expression, comes out of your own essence. It is only when forgetting the essence that the expression takes the form of a thought. But the moment you recognize your own expression, that it arises out of yourself and dissolves back into yourself, meaning into the expanse of the essence. This is what you need to train in, to become used to. There is no other meditation object or act apart from that. Not as much as a dust mote, nothing. But if you forget or get distracted, then you're involved in thoughts again. So please train in this. That is the practice. This is what the Buddha taught in the past. So here today, he has nothing to say besides this. This is what we need to practice in. The Buddha taught many things. He said, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. In this simple yet profound statement, we are reminded of the power of importance of being fully present, of embracing each moment with open-hearted awareness. These are the teachings we need to try to practice. Urgyen Rinpoche also taught that we need to give up the paranoia. The open path is a matter of working purely with what is, of giving up altogether the fear that something may not work out, that something may end in failure. One has to give up the paranoia that one might not fit into situations, that one might be rejected. One needs to purely deal with life as it is. No watcher. Nobody is being aware of anything but itself. The razor blade cuts itself. The sun shines by itself. Fire burns by itself. Water flows by itself. Nobody watches. There is no self to experience anything. No one to perceive anything. No one that controls or has mental functions. Awareness is impersonal, not localized. This I feeling is an illusion, a dream generated by the subconscious mind. It is as unreal in daytime as it is in dream time. Both are subconscious projections generated by billions of neurons. You are still just the movie screen that the brain projects its 3D movie upon, as well as the self that watches them. It has to be seen that you are completely locked in your egoic identification. Even the sense of no self and bliss is known by this egoic self as not me. Listen carefully. There is no self that becomes enlightened. Self-nature is like unchanging aware space. Aware space doesn't forget itself, nor realize itself again. Your awareness is identified with the brain's dream daytime self, felt as a real me. Sitting in Zazen as just being awareness, being aware, can disrupt this selfing illusion, as by being aware of every thought, every emotion, every perception, this I, this me, this mind and body, reveals you can't be that which appears to you as an external object. The Buddha mind is the observer. Everything is perfect, simply as it is. There is no need to make any effort. Just relax. Sit in your natural